So Congress had a vote on impeachment of Trump. I want to give you the numbers on that. It was 368 to 58. That was the final count. 4 Democrats voted present, and 126 other Democrats voted with Republicans to kill the resolution. Brad Sherman, Democrat of California, introduced an article of impeachment all the way back in July on the issue of obstruction of justice with Comey and the FBI. For those of you who don't know about that, Comey was obviously looking into, the whole Russia investigation, and Trump fired him. And then he admitted on a news show, it's fake news, the Russia thing, so I fired him. You're admitting to obstruction of justice. And let me explain something to everybody. There doesn't even need to be anything there for that to be obstruction of justice. In other words, Comey was looking into this. Let's say it was a dead end. Hey, we didn't find anything on Trump and Russia. The fact that he fired him in the middle of that investigation is still obstruction of justice. Doesn't matter if there was something there or wasn't something there. He's obstructing justice. He's admitted that. There are tweets where he admits that. So it is true that he did obstruct justice. No doubt about that. Now, last month, Al Green and 5 other Democrats introduced articles of impeachment, also for obstruction of justice, but violating the emoluments clause of the Constitution as well, which bars the president from taking gifts from foreign governments. Now, on that front, too, listen, the reality is from day one, Trump was violating the emoluments clause. Now, if Hillary was president, she also would have violated the emoluments clause on day one because of the Clinton Foundation and the tremendous amount of money it had taken from foreign governments. So you can definitely make the case, hey, that's your foundation, you're directly involved with that foundation, they're taking money from foreign governments, that's the president getting gifts from foreign governments. So I think Hillary was in violation of it, but Trump was too. Trump has his products made in 12 different countries. He registered 8 new businesses in Saudi Arabia during the campaign. He took $270,000 from Saudi Arabia, a payment to one of his hotels. Why? Because they actually spent $270,000 there? No. They stay there on purpose when they visit here because he's the president, and they overpay because they're buying favors. And then, wow, look at that. Trump turns around and gives them over a $100 billion weapons deal. Of course he's taking payments from foreign governments. He absolutely has taken payments from foreign governments. He has businesses in other countries. So, is he in violation? Of course he's in violation. There's no question he's in violation. I don't even know why we're debating it. You could get him right now if you wanted to get him on that. Now, does that mean that it's a good idea to impeach him? Well, that's a separate conversation. So, is he impeachment worthy? Yes. Clearly obstructed justice, clearly violated the Foreign Emoluments Clause. By the way, of the Democrats who voted yes, you have Justice Democrat Raul Grijalva said, yeah, impeach him. Keith Ellison said impeach him. Barbara Lee, the one vote against the war on terror, strong progressive Barbara Lee, voted for impeachment. Al Green, Maxine Waters, and Ted Lieu voted for it as well. They're mixed bags. But honestly, guys, if I was in Congress, how would I have voted? I probably would have voted present, because I always struggle with this, because yes, it's true he did things that are impeachment worthy, but you impeach him, you get Mike Pence. Mike Pence is just as bad, if not worse, and I mean that. So the one area where I think Pence would be better is the immediate cause of Iran and North Korea, where I do believe that war could break out any day with North Korea. I don't think it would break out any day under Pence. Now, I could be wrong about that, but Trump is so on edge and so impulsive that I really do trust him less on those issues. But with every other issue, Pence is the exact same as Trump. Just as corporate, just as sold out to Wall Street and big oil and the pharmaceutical industry, going to do their bidding 100%, and he's more competent. So he'll probably get those things through successfully, whereas Trump is stumbling and bumbling and falling all over himself, and he's doing all these executive orders for his agenda, but he hasn't been able to get legislation through Congress, whereas I think Pence might be able to get it through Congress. So I don't know. It's a question. Pence could be just as bad, if not worse, maybe slightly better. But a bigger point is, if the Democrats were to actually impeach, you're wasting a tremendous amount of capital to get no better in the end. So you're wasting all this political capital. Trump's approval rating is like 35%. Everybody's turning on him. But you're going to impeach him, waste all your political capital there. Then you're left with Pence. You have no more political capital left. And so, in other words, there's no policy focus here where, you're really fighting on the fronts that you have to fight on. You have to defeat this Republican tax bill. You have to defeat the Republicans when it comes to health care. You have to provide a countervision like Medicare for all and free college and a living wage. And if the entire national debate is on impeachment, I feel like that distracts from the issues that would guarantee the Democrats to win in the next election. So in other words, I don't want there to be this massive sideshow, and then at the end of it all, we get nowhere. Because you have this Mick resistance who are like, yeah, we're against Trump, and to prove that, we're going to impeach him. And we're going to talk about Russia nonstop, and we're going to impeach. And then at the end of all of it, you go ask a voter in the Rust Belt, what do the Democrats stand for? And they stand for impeachment, and they stand for we're against Trump, Russia. That's not going to win you an election. That's not going to win you an election. To win an election, you need to ask the voters, and they go, oh, the Democrats are for cutting my taxes in the middle class. The Democrats are for Medicare for all and a living wage and free college. And they're for ending the wars and doing a New Deal and infrastructure jobs everywhere. I want people to be able to ask anybody in the country what the Democrats stand for, and that's their answer. Right now, you ask anybody in the country, and they go, they hate Trump, and they hate the Russia connections. That's what they'll tell you, because that's what you talk about all the fucking time. So I don't know. I mean, look, the reason I'm torn on it is because, yes, he's done things that are worthy of impeachment. No doubt about it. Definitely obstructed justice, definitely violated the Emoluments Clause. So if you are an originalist and a literalist when it comes to the letter of the law, you go, yeah, impeach him because he violated, he did things he's not supposed to do, which lead to impeachment. Case closed. So in that respect, yeah, impeach him. But I think that the net political effect is a bigger downside than upside. You waste all this political capital, and then you're just as worse off under President Pence, and I'd rather save that political capital to defeat all of their odious legislation and push your agenda policy-wise. So that's my take on it, but I would have voted present because I don't know. I feel like I could be convinced to vote for impeachment, but I don't know if it's strategically the right move for Democrats to win and to get our agenda implemented. So that's the thing I've always been wrestling with. I think you guys know I've been stuck on this for a while. And but either way, it appears like it's not happening. So, I mean, you have 58 votes. That's more than they expected, and that's why this article was big, is that they weren't expecting to get 58 Democrats to say, yeah, impeach him. So it's more than people expected, but you're still way short of what's needed.